Okay. We're recording now. So let me call to order Lubbock County Court. We're sitting in probate guardianship matters here to cause number CC-2022-GD-17 in the matter of the guardianship of Karen Janelle Hammond, hereby called a proposed ward. Ms. Throneberry, let the record show, is an attorney, and so she is representing herself in this matter, and the court accepts her as an attorney and as her representation of herself in this cause. So, Ms. Throneberry, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, I am ready.
Mr. Norman is attorney ad litem appointed by the court. Are you ready to proceed?
Dane Norman, attorney ad litem for the proposed ward, present and ready, Judge. Judge, would you like me to, I guess, ask Ms. Throneberry the questions, or are we going to have her do the self-interview style? What's the plan?
No, she's going to self-interview, and then you'll have an opportunity to cross.
Okay.
All right. We'll just play it by the book here and we'll just give you that opportunity to cross once that time happens.
All right.
But Mr. Norman, before we get started, as attorney ad litem appointed by the court, and you've had an opportunity, a bit small, to meet with your client, and I just want on the record that she has declined to appear.
Judge, I've represented this person in, I believe, 4 hearings, today being the 5th, and she has spoken with me briefly, intermittently throughout the last couple of months I've been representing her. As of today, she declined to participate and declined to visit with me regarding today's hearing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Norman. All right, Ms. Thornberry, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 18th.
Judge, do we need to put her under oath?
She's an officer of the court.
Okay.
Not necessary unless you want. It's not necessary.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and do
Let's
that.
go ahead, just to be sure.
Let's do that. Lyneette, do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you're about to give in the matter before this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right. Thank you. All right, proceed.
I would like to begin with an opening statement that on April 18th of 2022, I filed an application for appointment of guardianship of Karen Janelle Hammond. And that has been filed in this court. I would like to ask the court to take judicial notice that on April the 28th of 2022, I did also file an application for emergency detention of Karen Janelle Hammond, and it was granted by Judge Parrish, wherein she was admitted to Sunrise Hospital.
All right, Mr. Norman, do you have any objections to noting that?
I have no objection to judicial notice of either of those documents.
So noted. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Hammond was admitted to Sunrise Hospital on April the 29th, 2022, and she remains there today. I have had some contact with her early on. She did visit with me on a weekly basis. However, she has chosen not to visit with me or my family since about a month ago. I would like to ask the court to take judicial notice that there was an order for protective custody granted on behalf of Sunrise Hospital on June the 9th of 2022 for a period of 45 days.
I have no objection to judicial notice of such.
So noted.
I would also like to request the court take judicial notice of the order authorizing involuntary medication for Sunrise Hospital to give prescribed medications to Karen Janelle Hammond. And I believe that order was also granted on June 9th of 2022.
Mr. Norman?
I have no objection. I was involved in that matter as well. I am familiar.
So noted. Thank you.
In my conversations with Sunrise Hospital, Ms. Hammond was given an opportunity to take the medication voluntarily, many opportunities, in fact. And from the information in my conversations with the nurses and the doctors, it does appear that they did have to resort to involuntary medication initially, and she, for the most part, is taking her medication, although she does show some resistance on some days, but she is on medication at this point. On June 23rd of this year, I was appointed as temporary guardian of Ms. Hammond by this court, and have been in that capacity up to today's hearing for permanent guardianship. I would also like to request the court take judicial notice of a physician certificate of medical exam that is dated June 29th, 2022, and it was counterfiled in this matter.
And Judge, I have received all of those documents, and in reviewing the certificate of medical examination, it does appear that it was completed by an MD within 120 days of the application, so I have no objection to judicial notice as such.
All right, so noted. Thank you. Ms. Throneberry, my records show that the temporary guardianship was actually ordered on June the 8th. Do you know?
And that was the date of our hearing, yes, Your Honor. And I thought that the order was actually signed on June the 23rd.
My records show June the 8th.
Okay, let the record be corrected to show June 8th of 2022. I was appointed temporary guardian by this court.
Yes. Mr. Norman, any objections?
Judge, no objection. That's what my calendar shows that as well. I don't have that order in front of me, but the file is the file, and I have no objection to judicial notice of what's in the file.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I would like to state that I did speak with Dr. Laura Parthy on a couple of occasions, one prior to the completion of the certificate of medical exam. And I've had two conversations with Dr. Laura Parthy since he completed this certificate of medical exam. I specifically reviewed the exam, the CME, and discussed in detail with him his evaluation of my sister's physical condition as well as her mental condition. The CME notes that her physical diagnosis is moderate with hypertension, diabetes, and tardive dyskinesia. Her prognosis is stated that if she continues to be partially compliant, then prognosis is grave. I also discussed with Dr. Goraparthy her mental diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder, in which he has noted that her severity is noted as severe. The prognosis is that if she continues to refuse oral medications, her prognosis is grave.
Ms. Throneberry, don't mean to interrupt you since we are talking about the CME. At the bottom of page bottom of page 3, it's the continuation of evaluation of capacity. My document that I have before me apparently cuts off that bottom part, where it says, if you've indicated the proposed ward is incapacitated, indicate the level of incapacity.
And Judge, I'm about to send that to you. I'm not sure why it got cut off, but I've got it here.
Okay, well, Norman, if you have it, you can just, can you just tell me what that is? What
The
box?
doctor has indicated that it is a total incapacity.
Okay, thank you. That was my question. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Thornberry.
Okay.
And Judge, I would say that unless there's any other issues, if you've taken judicial notice of the CME, I don't believe that she has to read it to us.
She does not.
I think we're clear on that.
We are. We're very clear. All right. Thank you.
So in the conclusion of that, the doctor noted that Karen Janelle Hammond is totally without capacity to care for herself or manage her property. And in the conversations with Dr. Goraparthy, I asked what his recommendations would be for appropriate care for her. He recommended a nursing home care with security. So he gave me some suggestions. I have contacted area facilities, and I do understand that from my conversation with Dr. Goraparthy that their order for protective custody is to expire on July 23rd, 2022. And at the time of my last conversation with the doctor, he did not anticipate that Sunrise would request an extension, therefore, or in a pretty short amount of time for a transfer. In visiting with area facilities, I have located a facility in Brownfield, Apex Secure Care, and I am working with them. I am working with them to obtain medical records and necessary applications. We are hopeful that they will be able to accept Ms. Hammond by the end of the week.
Excellent.
I visited with the nurses at Sunrise. I do visit with them on a very frequent basis. My sister is unwilling to accept my phone calls, so I get my information primarily from social worker, Dr. Goraparthy, or the nurses. I did speak with the nurses last evening. They did confirm that she is taking her medication. Her mood is beginning to increase. They did say that it depends on the person to whom she is speaking. She does not want to speak to Dr. Goraparthy. She has a few nurses that she will converse with, but for the most part, she refuses to participate in treatment meetings or any of the programs for which they would like her to attend. I did have one phone conversation with my sister exactly a week ago today. She wishes to be released from Sunrise. However, her expressed desire was to return to New Mexico. And I asked if I could come to talk to her about what options we might have in Texas. And she was very unwilling, and the conversation did not go well. And that is my last conversation with her.
All right. Thank you.
I have nothing further.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Norman, is there any questions that you have of Ms. Throneberry?
Yes, Judge. There are a couple questions I have that need to be proven up with testimony, so I'll go ahead and jump in and ask those. And so, Lyneette, you're applying to be the guardian of the person and estate of Karen Janelle Hammond. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and we've gotten through some of this testimony in the temporary guardianship, but is your understanding that at this time it does need to be converted to a permanent guardianship from a temporary guardianship? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. You have not been able to communicate much with your sister, but do you feel that you are able to be aware of her needs and make sure that her needs are met?
Yes, I am. And that would be either through contact with her or with those who are caring for her. And I've been very diligent in reaching out to any of the support staff. And I do try, even though I know that most of the time when I call, she will not want to speak with me, but I continually try, hoping that at one point she will change her mind.
Okay. So you understand that as the duty, or as the guardian, you have a duty to do what's in her best interest, even if that perhaps isn't the most convenient, but if it's what she needs, then that is your duty, correct?
I am aware of that duty, and I am committed to acting on behalf of her best interest.
Okay. And you have completed, well, I guess you don't have to complete the training because you're an attorney, but you are certified in guardianships, correct?
Is correct.
Okay, and you are, you have registered the guardianship and done the background check, is that correct?
Yes, I have registered, and I don't believe the background check was required since I am an attorney, but I did receive confirmation that there is nothing further required from me. It will just be reporting through the Lubbock County.
Right.
on my-
And you understand that you'll have to do an annual report and an annual account, correct?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, and you are prepared to undertake that duty?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a conflict of interest that would disqualify you from serving as the guardian of Janelle's person or estate?
I do not have any conflict of interest.
Okay, and you are not a convicted felon, is that correct?
No, I am not.
Okay, and you are not a notoriously bad person, is that right?
No, I am not.
Okay, and so do you believe it is in the best interest of your sister to be appointed as her guardian?
Yes, I do. And I believe that I am the person who would be entitled to be appointed. I do wish to state that she is unmarried, has no children. And as far as our parents, my father is deceased. My mother is living. However, she is 81 years old, and she did decline.
Did you give your mother, do we have, I'm trying to think, Judge, do we have a waiver or any sort of citation from her?
I do have a waiver of citation and a waiver of appointment.
Is that on file in the court?
Yes, yes, sir.
Hold on.
Let's see. Actually, I should probably refile it because it was an exhibit to the application for appointment of guardian.
Okay.
I filed on April the 18th, and so I can certainly submit each document individually for filing.
Okay. And so she did sign off stating that she is aware that there's an application for guardianship over her daughter and that she is essentially not asserting her priority to be the guardian. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then as far as other siblings, are you Janelle's only sibling?
I am her only sibling.
Okay. And so then the people that would need to be noticed, assuming that that is filed for your mother, have been noticed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right then. Judge, I believe that that covers what we need for the hearing.
All right, thank you.
Pass the witness to herself.
Ms. Throneberry, do you wish to follow up with anything? Are you good? Do you rest and close?
I don't have any further information, so at this time I will rest.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Norman.
Judge, I don't have any witnesses. I would just make an oral report to the court. My client very adamantly states she does not need a guardian and that she needs to get out of Sunrise Canyon and go to New Mexico. Therefore, as attorney ad litem on behalf of my client, I ask that you deny the guardianship so that she is able to go back to New Mexico.
All right, thank you, Mr. Norman. All right, Ms. Wharf, I know that you've been active involved in this for, let's see, May, June, July, about 3.5 months we've been on this. Have you heard anything today, or do you have anything within your report that you wish to change or alter?
No, I very much think that the guardianship is necessary.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be necessary because, you know, like I said, it was kind of the issues that we had when we were dealing with the temporary guardianship, is that once she gets under Sunrise Canyon, you know, things can happen pretty quick and pretty all of a sudden. So it was very good to put this under a guardianship so that Miss Hammond can be protected. And I think that protection needs to continue.
And she will very much, she'll need to be placed somewhere secure. And as Ms. Thornberry testified, she'll, she's working on that, but I think that will need to continue. And I don't think that Ms. Hammond will consent for herself.
No, clearly not. All right, well, after considering the evidence and the arguments of counsel, the court finds first by a preponderance of the evidence that the court indeed has venue in this case, and that the person to be appointed as guardian is eligible to act as guardian and is the proper person to act as a guardian. and that the proposed ward is totally without capacity to care for herself and to manage her property. The court also finds by clear and convincing evidence that alternatives to guardianship that would have avoided the need for the appointment of a guardian have been considered and are determined not to be feasible. Supports and services that are available to the proposed ward that would also have avoided the need for the appointment of a guardianship have been determined not to be feasible as well. It is in the proposed ward's best interest to have this court appoint someone as a guardian of the person and estate. The proposed ward's rights and property will be protected by the appointment of a guardian. The court further notes that the applicant is a licensed attorney in the state of Texas, and therefore is based on her testimony is not disqualified to serve as a guardian. Therefore, it is the order of the court that Lyneette Throneberry that Karen Janelle Hammond is an incapacitated person, and that Lyneette Throneberry is now hereby appointed as guardian of the person and estate. We didn't talk really about Ms. Throneberry about her estate. I know that under the temporary guardianship, you were required to carry a $100 bond, which you did post. Have you discovered any assets that she has since that time that we've set this temporary guardianship?
No, sir, Your Honor. The only assets that she has would be her personal effects, a few household items, clothing. Her income is a Social Security disability income check in the amount of $956. And I have been working with certain creditors in she does owe some medical bills.
Okay.
Are you the representative payee for her?
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay.
The representative payee.
I am not the representative payee. However, I understand that I'm in the situation of placing her in a nursing home where they will be required to be the representative payee. So I have just been trying to manage the bank account, the deposit. It's a direct deposit, and then I am just trying to pay the medical bills or have them reduced.
Well, I think what we need to do is we do need to carry on with the estate guardianship as well, because you're going to have to, you're going to have to deal with that at least, and maybe even try to find some other benefits that she's eligible for as well. So I'm going to carry on with the guardianship, and then we'll just carry over that $100 bond. I'll just carry that over from the temporary to the permanent. I do want to ask you, though, in your order, you mentioned needing a monthly allowance.
Now that's one thing that I'm not certain how that is handled. I'm needing to get clarification from the nursing home facility. Apparently, they will be assigned her disability income, and she will be allowed maybe $60 per month. So as long as she is in a facility, I don't know that that is even applicable for, I can actually strike that. I don't know that I need that while she is there.
I hate to strike it if you have to come back later and pull money out of the estate, but I don't think you're going to need a monthly allowance. So what I'm going to do is I will line out item 13 or paragraph 13 out of your order, okay? Or actually what I'll do, rather than line it out, I'm just going to put 0 in the blank. And will that be suitable for you? Do you think you'll still be able to take care of what you need to with Janelle's things?
I believe so, because like I said, $60 a month is all that she is going to be allotted, if that much. So,
Okay. I'm making the monthly allowance total at 0. and that and the bond amount will remain at $100. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm not going to go over all the duties and the legal things that you need to do to take care of you're clearly doing everything that you can, and I appreciate it so much. And I wish you the best in getting Apex taken care of. That would be, for what we have in and around West Texas, that's probably about the best we can do.
I was gonna say Apex is kind of the catch-all, but it's at least a start and it's a safe place. And maybe if things improve, we can improve on placement. But for now, it's a start.
Yeah.
I did talk to Ms. Throneberry as well, Judge, about possibly having to transfer the case if she's there for an extended period, simply because it is in Terry County.
Right. Yeah, we'll do that. They're getting a brand new judge at the first of the year.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Butch is retiring.
Yeah, Butch is out of there. He's a sweet old guy, but he's done. So
He is. He's had his fun.
all right. So we'll deal with that down the road whenever we need to. Okay. Ms. Throneberry, do you need anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court?
I do not. I did put in the order authority to have Lubbock County Sheriff's Department or the ambulance service to assist with the transfer, because this is going to be county to county. And so I'm getting a little bit of, maybe misinformation as to how that is to work. So
You'll probably need to do private transportation. I doubt the sheriff will be able to do that since we, the court, Lubbock County does not have an MOU. We don't have an agreement with Apex. So that would have to be probably come under a private transfer.
And I must admit, I don't have the order in front of me, but is the language in there about using reasonable force to take custody of the ward? Did we include that?
I just sent the order up, but I think, she has the ability to secure whatever transportation she wants to. And if you can talk a deputy into taking her, hey, more power to you. But I just know that we don't have transfer. Lubbock County cannot, I can't order a deputy to transfer her to Brownfield.
Right. And it doesn't look like I was served with the order, but there is that language that you can put in there that says notice to law enforcement, which may be helpful in this situation.
Okay.
So
Whatever y'all work out.
I think I have that covered under number 10. So, but
Okay.
thank you, Dane.
Well, if you need a little help in that, just holler at me. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Norman, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I was going to discharge you, but I think probably given our situation, I want you to stay on as ad litem. Not necessarily through the guardianship. I don't think we're going to need any more help there, but certainly if we get her placed in Brownfield, then you'll be discharged. But until then.
Okay. At least through her stay at Sunrise or something. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Ms. Wharf, thank you as well. Appreciate you very much. All right, Ms. Thornberry, if there's nothing further, we're dismissed. Thank you.